Hello. I would like to share with you a place that I have gone since I was a little girl. And this is an off-grid cabin and property up in the mountains of West Virginia that my family built. And it's completely off-grid. There is no cell phone connection up here. And I just wanted to share what it's like. So this is one of the big pastures here. A lot of it has been overgrown and we haven't been able to get up here to take care of it as much because my dad and my uncle are now 76, so it's really hard to, take care of the property. But here we are, and this is this is a garden, and there used to be blueberry bushes that I would pick from here. And I will show you the cabins and a little bit about how you would live up here. And this is my uncle's cabin. He built it. And some other buildings. I will show you those as well. And this is the outhouse. There's no plumbing, so you just you just do like this. You move this over, you sit on the hole, and when you're done, there's toilet paper in there, and there's a scoop to scoop dirt to put on top of the hole if need be. And it works very well. So then you walk out here. This is the studio. This is not the main cabin. Yes, my uncle built all of these buildings, and this is where I'll be sleeping tonight, though. Okay, now down here, so these hoses they run all the way back to the spring so that we can get cold water. And then you can get cold water out of this sink. That's a very old, ancient washing machine. And you can get cold water out of this shower, and you can take a nice cold shower here. Now, there's also a way that we used to take hot baths when I was little, and I can show you that later. We used to have a teepee over here. But we took the poles down, and now it's just the foundation. We still sit around and have campfires. Before we had the water running from the spring, and sometimes we don't use it, we would walk back here with jugs back into the woods here. It takes about 15 minutes or so to walk back and fill up your water jugs at the spring. And sometimes along the way you might see some deer or evidence of a bear. But it's a nice walk. And I used to go back here by myself to get the water. Okay. This is where you can take a hot bath. So this is along the path to the spring. The water, we no longer use this tub anymore, but we used to use this tub a long time ago. And you would put plexiglass on top of the tub. You'd fill up the water. There's a little spout here from the hose that runs from the spring. And it would be cold water, but you would fill up the tub, put the plexiglass on top, and the sunlight would warm up the water. And then by the afternoon or in a couple of hours, your bathtub would be nice and warm and you could take baths. This is off the path. We just have a lot of these rocks. A raccoon track. Still walking along to the spring. This is the spring water. It comes from up inside of the mountain. Okay, so from the spring, there's a path that up here that will take you, I think it's right here, that will take you up to my dad's cabin, which is further up the hill. But it's been so long since we've gone in this path. I think it's right here. But I think we're gonna go on the road out by the pasture. So we're gonna go back down this way. I just filled up a water jug so that we can like wash our hands and stuff. Because we don't have I don't know if we have the hoses turned on. And I just splashed some of that water in my face, and it's so cold. It feels so good. Okay, so when I was coming back from the spring one time when I was little, this is right where I was when I believe I saw a Bigfoot up there on the hill watching me, and he moved, and it wasn't a bear. He was standing up like a man, but he was hairy, and this is many years ago. So I got really scared and I froze for a while, and then I dropped the buckets that I was carrying of water, and I ran as fast as I could all the way back to the cabin. Told my uncle what happened. So anyway, who knows, but I really believe that I saw something that wasn't a human, because there's nobody, it's private property, and it wasn't a bear. So anyways, I'm going to show you some more around the property here in a little bit. Okay, so right now, my uncle's down there cutting the grass, and like I said, we haven't been up here in a while, so the water isn't running from the spring to the cabin. So we got to do things like brush our teeth, stuff like that, and also it's getting dark, so we need to get all of our important stuff done before the sun goes down, because it's harder to do things when you just have some flashlights and lanterns. It's easier to do things in the daylight. I'm just gonna brush my teeth. Okay, I was able to get some clean sheets up here to sleep on. Okay, so it's gonna get dark soon, so I have my flashlight on me that I'm gonna carry with me, just in case I need to. I'm just gonna keep on to it because we're still out and doing things out and around out there, and So, and then if I need to go to the outhouse, I will be able to see. Okay, so we just heard some coyotes. I thought I heard some squealing, like dogs squealing far away. So we got to get all of that food up and just put it in the car and shut the windows. What direction did it come from?
The spring.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, the spring.
Oh, I saw some tracks that I thought were really big raccoon tracks because they had nails.
Right. They could have been.
Could have been a coyote?
Yeah.
Okay, so we just heard some coyotes. I'm gonna go tell my uncle that we heard some coyotes, and he hasn't eaten yet, but we were putting the food away and he's still cutting the grass. Because it's a really big side of this mountain that he's trying to cut. Okay, so I think tomorrow we're gonna go up to where my dad's cabin is. So one time we were sitting by the cabin over there, my uncle's cabin, and one night and we were talking and it was dark, and we heard like a scream out here, like a child scream, and it was very scary. It was just and we knew it was some kind of animal, but it just sounded so scary. And then the next day, my uncle said, "Hey, come walk with me around the grass here." So we walked all the way around the perimeter, and we got along the back down there on where those trees are that are really far away. And when we got down there, we saw this deer that was dead, and its body was like twisted all around, and its insides had been pulled out, and it was very gruesome, and it looked very like its entire body was like sliced, and then it was so strange. And he said, he'd never seen anything like it before. But we assumed that the scream was some kind of like bobcat or something. And so you just have to be careful at night when you're way out in the mountains. You have to be very careful, and you have to think like an animal. And so I'll keep you guys updated on the rest of my little trip here up on the mountain. But I'm gonna go talk to my uncle now. So my dad is playing his flute, and I told him not to because, the coyotes might hear it and think that it's another coyote calling. but he's playing it anyway. He's playing the penny whistle. I don't know if you can hear it. Okay, this is kind of creepy. This is my uncle's shed here. But there's all kinds of creepy stuff in here. I don't know if we should leave this open.
Room in there if you. Oh no, I got my mattress up there already. Oh, okay. We put the cooler up in the cabin in case the bears come out. Oh, yeah, good idea.
In case the bears come?
Yeah, or the raccoons. Or the coyotes.
Well, there's stuff in the cooler like crackers and stuff that you can eat if you're hungry.
Where's the cooler?
In there, inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and any of that food in there can be eaten in the cooler.
Yeah. Well, he could probably take this. He could smell it.
They can smell the sardines?
I don't know. They might be.
Probably. You can smell them.
Okay, get the ketchup and the sardines and bring it in.
Honestly, I want to see one. I want to see what it's
Well, it's probably get there.
Well, we do have some protection, but
Else getting this place after I do, who doesn't have experience coming up here, they'll get hurt. They'll get killed. Earl nearly got killed on this road. You know that. Remember?
he fell off.
You remember?
His car
He
slid
went
off.
down this first turn and hit a tree. And it pushed the car, the motor in, and it pushed the hood up. And
He broke some
he
ribs.
broke his ribs, and he laid down for about 45 minutes. And I didn't even know it. I mean, I heard a bang, but I thought he was just right up at the top here, And he was loading gravel or something. And then, but it was a big bang when he hit that tree. And he came walking back up here. And Michelle and I were sitting here, and we were getting ready to go back to Elkins. And he comes walking up here like he's half dead, And I said, well, and he told us what happened. I said, well, you've got to come down to Elkins with us and go to the hospital. And he said, no, he didn't want to go. And I said, well, you don't have to go to the hospital. Just come to our house. And so if you have internal injuries, then you can go to the hospital then.
Okay, so it's gonna rain, and thunder, so I'm gonna use the outhouse before it gets too stormy out here. Okay, so hiked up here to my dad's cabins. It's been a long time. And this little piggy built his house out of plywood. Out of wood. Okay. have to get the key. Okay, this is the old outhouse my dad had built. Well, I haven't used this in 20 years. Let's see. Okay, well that one is not. It's not usable anymore. Just go outside. Okay, and this is the inside. It's been a long time. We don't stay in here anymore, but many, many years ago we did when I was little. And you could see the view of the mountains back then. It was really pretty. And then there's a loft up there. We used to sleep up there. So now we're gonna hike up to my Uncle John's old cabin. His way up at the very top of the mountain. No one's been up there in a year. He's passed away, so we're gonna go check out the cabin. If we can find the path, but it goes up to there, to the top of that mountain. Okay, so we found the trail, or I found it. And here's his cabin. Now, third little piggy built his house out of bricks. No, I'm just kidding. And he did do a good job. Although I think my favorite would be the log cabin.
And this is a instant, I think it's an instant hot water heater, of all things, that you don't need up here.
And then there's a shower.
And there's a shower, so you can you turn that on. It's like a water heater. It's like a water heater, but it just works on propane. And as soon as you turn on the water, the cold water goes in there and it turns itself on and heats the water, but and it sends it out. So it's like he's got that X-Roll there, the pressure tank, and the filters and all this. What he used to do is come up here, and he would fill this tank with water from his truck. He had barrels of water that he would get down at the spring, and then he would fill them up. And that's not really the way to do it. Is have a cistern, a rain cistern up here. So you can set one up if you lived up here.
So what happened here?
A bear tried to get in there, scraped it.
And okay.
It looks like rats or something have been in there.
Well, there's a lot of electronics, but you'd have to get the generator running.
Yeah.
Does the stove work?
Yeah, it's a good stove. It'll heat you up.
There's so many rock ledges down here.
They're still causing trouble with that.
How old is this spring?
And about 50 years. I don't know when this pipe was put in, but I think it was put in before we bought the land. Because I don't think anybody's been in here doing anything. But,
Okay, so we're back down to where my dad's property is, and we've been walking for hours because combined they have 80 acres. So we basically have 80 acres up here, and it's just a lot. It's a lot of land to walk around. But okay, so this is how to get back up to where my dad's is. But we went. Let's see. Okay, there is a way to get through. There's paths and trails to get back to the spring from everybody's property. And then there's these roads, and some of the roads are not very good. Like my Uncle John's cabin, we just walked down that road. It was so horrible. You can't drive up there unless you have like a huge truck with big wheels. And here's the view walking back down to my uncle's land. And this is the place I love the most in the whole world, is this mountain. And I've been to a lot of places, and I am the happiest when I'm up here. So I hope one day I'll be able to live back out in the mountains somewhere. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you later. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.